I guess he wants to know his competition.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming. You look
Yeah, for
nice.
sure. Thank
Hair
you.
beautiful.
Thank you so
Like, yeah,
much. Look,
no
you got me
problem. Like,
blushing.
we're gonna have to knock William out the top.
By the end of the date with Justin, I definitely feel like we connected on another level.
This was fun. Like, I like a person that can make me laugh.
This ain't nothing. We can.
What up, what up, what up, good people? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This one is the ranking for the men, okay? As promised. Now, let me get some things straight first. Number one, this ain't about looks, okay? I ain't going into these dudes' looks. I don't know them like that. I don't like them like that, okay? This ain't about their sparkling personality. This is all what I consider husband ready. Let me say that again. This is only based on husband ready. Now, as a man, you know, I can judge them on that. Why? Because I was a husband, and I know what it takes. And all of the males in my family are husbands, so that's what I'm going to be going by. Now, the women are different. I'm ranking them on face, body, and personality. Okay, so check out that video later on this week, because that's a little bit of a different element than just the regular rankings. We're at the halfway mark, so I'm starting to get into more wifey rankings and more face, body, and personality. All that being said, let me just go ahead and go in as far as the men and if they are husband ready. Without further ado, let's go in. At number 8 is Alonzo. Now, Alonzo is a guy who I just think is just, he has a lot of ways about him that just is so immature. I just don't think that this guy is really ready to be a husband. He has some, I still suspect that Alonzo has what I call, he's a colorist. Okay. He has a colorist. He like light-skinned black women with tattoos. And not that anything is wrong with that. That's his little fetish. But at the same time, I think he likes, for the lack of a better term, ladies, ratchet or ghetto black women, light-skinned black women with tattoos. This is why he's not really pushing up on Alexis, because Alexis is not ghetto. Alexis is not ratchet. She light-skinned, but she ain't got enough tattoos and she ain't got enough ghetto in her. Okay? And that's what this dude like. That's why he's connected to Patrice. That's why he's connected to Rashina. Now, some might say, is Rashina ghetto? She's walking that thin line between ghetto and, refined or sophisticated. She may be getting more into her, refinement now that she's a little older, but she even admitted to having a hot girl summer. Okay. What was that? Only a couple years ago, she said she had a hot girl summer. So she's walking that fine line. Like I said before, I'll keep that part to myself. Watch the female video for that. But Alonzo just seems like he is not ready for the responsibility. Now, I seen a preview, and what it looked like, I'm gonna just tell you what it looked like, is Alonzo proposing to Patrice. Now they had them blurred out, but if I had to choose a couple that a guy who got on his knees, it was Alonzo. I don't know if it was him. It sounded like Patrice. It sounded like Alonzo, but they were blurred out. I don't know. I'm gonna be watching out for that. Nevertheless, I'm not getting husband from him, and and just to play a fun game, I'm going to give you a phrase or a one word um, title to describe these guys. Okay, and for Alonzo, the first word that comes to mind is childish. Okay. When I think of Alonzo, I think childish. That's his title I'm putting on him. Now, is he the one who gets on one knee and proposes to Patrice? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see and find out. But it looked like him. It looked like Patrice. That would be crazy if they actually got engaged. I don't know if he was just kidding or whatever the case is, but stay tuned for RTL for that. But I got Alonzo at 8. He don't seem like a husband. He seemed childish. He got these silly little fetishes, and he don't never say anything very for the most part grown man, to be honest. So he seemed like he's still in high school or middle school, actually. So I got Alonzo at number 8. At number 7 is LaRon. All right. LaRon title is Moody. Okay. This guy is a moody person. He seems to go in and out of moods. He could be bipolar. He could be split personality disorder himself. Maybe, he found that in Koshia, and maybe that's how they connected, because I think they both got those problems. He just seemed to be I think he was the only child too. He was the only child. So he had that only child syndrome where everything got to go his way or he's going to whine about it. He was probably used to everything getting handed to him, everything coming to him easy, and, he probably got his way a lot, especially with his, being the only child. All the attention went on him. So this guy he's not a bad guy. None of the guys are bad guys, but he don't seem like he is built for a long-term relationship. Look, man, you can't get too bent out of shape about what some women say about you. He seems to get bent out of shape real easy, and he gets into his little tyrants and his little childish temper tantrums is really what it is. And you can't have no long-term relationship like that. Again, not a bad guy, but built for a husband. I don't think really LaRon is. He's still partying. This is why it's a concern for a lot of the ladies, is because, you seem like you haven't shared a space with nobody in a while. You've never been married. You don't have no kids. All you had to do was think about you. You know what I mean? And you going out and partying, and that's not saying husband material to a lot of women. And I think they're right to question his partying, his just his lifestyle and things like that. I think they were right to question that. I just don't think that LaRon is husband ready yet. I think he needs a good woman to kind of season him a little bit and give him more experience. Like, his next woman is not going to be his wife. His next woman is going to be his test run, and I think maybe after that he'll be ready for marriage, but he's not right now. So I got LaRon, the moody guy, at number 7. At number 6 is Chocolate Will. All right. And Will's title is defensive. All right. This guy is very defensive as far as his image, his reputation, sort of like LaRon is too. They both kind of similar in that way. They really care about what other people are saying about them. And Will was going all around the lady saying, "Oh, who said this? I gotta find out. I'm going to war with whoever else." And I'm like, "Calm down, bruh."
Alexis told me one of the ladies said that I was sleeping on the floor. I felt some type of way about that.
You told me you was taking your covers and sleeping on the floor.
And I never said I was sleeping on the floor. You misinterpreted that. Now we know who said it.
Women is gonna say stuff. They're gonna lie. They're gonna, misunderstand, misquote. That's just how it is. And if they just not feeling you, they just not feeling you. It is what it is. But you got to he's just very defensive. And if I'm being honest, the guy really didn't do himself many favors by saying he was sleeping on the floor. I mean, that's a cause for concern for some women. Him wearing the fake chains, that's a cause for concern for some of the ladies. It's just something for them to shoot you down on. You're giving them material to work with, bruh. You're giving them material to work with. So, yeah, they are going to say what they say and, start to question your stability a little bit, But like I said, man, look, listen. If he really was sleeping on the floor, all he had to do was explain, yes, I was sleeping on the floor. You know why? Because I'm renovating that house and I don't have any furniture in there yet. All you had to do was explain. You didn't have to get defensive. All you had to do was explain. Yeah, I slept on the floor because that's what a dedicated entrepreneur does. I slept on the floor to make sure the job got done because I'm going to sell this joint and make thousands of dollars in profit once I do. So yes, I slept on the floor. Any other questions? You know what Elon Musk did? Elon Musk slept at Tesla headquarters, okay? You got to sacrifice sometimes for the big picture. Men really understand this, okay? So he should have explained that to the ladies instead of getting defensive. Now, the fact that he got defensive made him look a certain type of way. Now they looking like, oh, well, maybe it's because, he ain't stable. If he would have explained it like, yes, I'm an investor and I am gutting out that house and I'm renovating it and I want to make sure it gets done by its deadline. So I slept on the floor. They probably will be understanding about that. But instead, Will got defensive. I'm multi-million dollars and this, that, and the third. And it's like, dude, not a bad guy though. You know what I mean? He loved the Lord. He's serving his religion. He wants his woman to be that way. I think actually Will is going to be a good man to the woman that he chooses. I just think that he can be a little defensive, and that could kind of, throw monkey wrenches in his relationships too. So he's going to have to learn to relax and not care so much about stuff like that. But all in all, I think he's a pretty good guy. At the beginning, I started to call him an F-boy, but I relaxed on that a little bit because I seen how he was moving. And it wasn't so much F-boy, but it was a little forward and a little direct and a little like almost like he not reading social cues very well. But I think his heart is in the right place. So I got Will, the defensive guy, at number 6. At number 5 is Jonathan. Okay, and his title is Suspicious. All right, this guy is very suspicious of women. He don't really seem to trust them. Now you got to remember he came out of a marriage, got a divorce, might have been ugly. She might have aired out all his dirty laundry, so he's very careful as to who he tell his business to. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but Shaquille O'Neal came out with a saying, and that was, I don't tell women personal stuff because all they're going to do is use it against you. I think Jonathan is kind of moving like Shaq right now. Okay, he's moving like Shaq. He's like, look, I'm not telling all my business to some chicks who probably ain't gonna pick me anyway. Okay, that's that, and I'm a firm believer that nothing is more valuable than information. Okay, nothing is more valuable than information. So be careful who you tell all your business to. I do agree with that. But if I'm the women, I'm like, look, bruh, we got to get to know you. We got to get to know you. We got to know something about you. It's okay to hold very personal and private information to yourself, but do you got to hold everything? Like for real? Um, so I think that that's one thing about Jonathan is that he really needs to start trusting or at least being a little bit more vulnerable. It kind of came off like he's not ready to love because in order to love, bruh, you got to be vulnerable. Okay. If love is like a skydiver, right? If you too scared to jump out of the plane, you ain't gonna fall in love. Okay, you have to be vulnerable. You have to trust your equipment. If you don't trust your equipment, you're not gonna jump out the plane. If you're not gonna jump out the plane, you ain't got no experience in this thing called love. Okay, you ain't got no experience. That goes for women too. Everybody who too scared to be vulnerable and too scared to talk about themselves, if you want to sit in that plane, then we can't record any jumps on your record as you being experienced because you can only be experienced if you actually jump. You see what I'm saying? So Jonathan, he still has some work to do in that area, and that would cause the women to be a little suspicious of his readiness because they're like, look, if you're not going to jump out the plane, you're not ready. You're not ready for this part. Go back, get some healing, do whatever. But at the same time, I think that Jonathan will be a good husband to his wife. Let's say, for instance, Alexis did choose Jonathan. I think he will be great to her. I think he will end up being vulnerable to her. I think that he will be if they got married, I think he would be a good husband to her. But you can't. This is ready to love. This ain't ready to date. Okay, this is ready to love. So you got to jump out the plane. You got to have your parachute on and get ready to jump. And that means be vulnerable. And Jonathan just wasn't that. That's why I got him at number 5 as Mr. Suspicious. At number 4 is William. And the title I got for William is Easygoing. Okay. Will is easygoing. He's an easygoing type of guy. He doesn't seem to be too pressed about too many things. He don't let a lot of stuff bother him. He seemed to be genuinely looking for his chick. He seemed to be pretty attached to Maya. That seemed to be his type. He like a woman who is peaceful, and she's peaceful. She can laugh. She likes to laugh. William is a comedian. So I think that's a pretty good connection. I don't know if I think he want more kids. I think he want a daughter. He said he got 3 sons, so he want a daughter. I think Maya wants some kids. So I think he's a good guy. But he was in the bottom, and the ladies was just not feeling him for their own personal reasons. But I didn't really get a good explanation as to why the ladies just wasn't really feeling William. But look, he tried to text what's her name, Vanessa, but he had the number in there wrong, and she threw him under the bus in elimination. Like, I want to get rid of Will, and I was like, for real? I mean, the guy had the wrong number. And you're punishing him for that. and putting him at the bottom of your list, I didn't really understand that with Vanessa. So I think Will is probably a misunderstood dude at this point. That actually could be be his title, is Mr. Misunderstood. So, um, you know, and he likes to work out. He likes fitness, and a lot of the ladies was like, "Oh, I ain't trying to be working out and be fit." Vanessa was like, "Oh, I got a family, and he not gonna be serving my family, so he gonna be out there working out, and that's not gonna be good." And I was like, I didn't understand that with Vanessa. Sort of the same thing with Patrice. She was like, "Well, I don't know about all that. You're gonna have to drag me out of the bed in order to get me to work out." And he's like, that's what's that's the good part of having a partner, is to motivate you and stuff like that. So I totally understood what Will was saying. He said it was a non-negotiable though, so maybe that scared the ladies off, but I think this guy is misunderstood. I think he's a good guy. I'm not seeing any toxic behaviors from Will. But yeah, I'm a change his title from easy going to Mr. Misunderstood. I think Will is a pretty cool dude at number 4. At number 3 is Justin, and the title I have from him is Mr. Convenient. Okay. I just think this guy he's convenient for whatever lady he's dating. You know what I mean? If you want kids, he want kids. If you don't want no kids, he cool with not having kids. If you got kids and all she wants you to be is a stepdaddy, he's willing to be a stepdaddy. I can see how, like, I think he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's standing, on his square as a man. I don't think he put the sack on the table. I don't mean to sound crass, but he just didn't put his sack on the table. Like, look, I'm the man in this situation. I mean, he kind of tucking his tail between his legs a little bit. But there's some women out there who like men like that, who's not solely standing on a square as a man, and a guy that they can kind of run, to be honest. But I think he will still make a good husband because he seems to be the type of guy that's pretty agreeable. He's probably better for I don't necessarily believe in this term, but so y'all know what I'm talking about. He's good for an alpha female. I don't believe in alpha females, but so y'all know what I'm talking about. Just a disagreeable woman. I think he's a good match for a woman like that. Who that is on the cast, I don't know. That probably could have been Koshia, to be honest, but he didn't get a chance to really get to know Koshia. So I think their sails, they missed their ship with each other. And plus she wanted to put a little bit more weight on him. She thought he was too skinny. But I think they could have mentally worked something out, because Koshia is the type of woman for a Justin. I think Justin is probably the only guy who got the patience to deal with a Koshia. So, but he's Mr. Agreeable. He's just that dude. Good guy though. Not the type of guy that is a man's man, to be honest, but I still think that he will be a good husband to a woman out there, and he seems to be pretty easy to get along with. He kind of reads social cues and things like that, and can kind of get clues as to how to maneuver a relationship to keep it going, so to speak. So I got your boy Justin at number 3. At number 2 is Dominique. All right. Dominique is a guy that Shamika said, well, she said he was too short. I don't know how short these guys are. He do seem a little short, but all the guys seem around the same height as Dominique. So except for Alonzo. Alonzo seems pretty tall, but the rest of the guys seem relatively short. And, I mean, if he's the same height as Shamika, I can see him being pretty short. But one thing I respect about Dominique is he stand on his square as a man. You know what I mean? I want kids. Well, you might have to rethink that. And he like, no, I'm not rethinking that. I want kids. So, uh, he even said Shamika may not be his type. They like each other, but they just want different things out of life. You know what I mean? And that's understandable. I think he secretly want to smash. I ain't mad at him. Okay. But he wants to be a father, and that's my title for him. He's the father of the group. So, and he comes off as being a guy he has a sense of humor. He seems easygoing. He seems like he wants to be a father. He seems like he wants to be a leader. He's staying square as a man. I will probably be moving like Dominique the most on the show. I relate to Dominique the most out of all the men on the show. I think he's a pretty cool dude. I don't necessarily see a whole lot of minuses. It could be considered a minus that he want kids to some women. I don't know why, but it can be. It could be a minus that he's short as he is. I don't know. It could be a minus that a lot of ladies aren't attracted to him that much. I don't know. But as far as his character and stuff like that and how he moves as a guy, I relate to him the most. Dominique is a cool dude, in my opinion. I don't see a whole lot of psychological issues, but we all didn't really get to see a whole lot of him. He was sprinkled in different episodes. He was like in every other episode, just like Rashina was. Sometimes you seen him, sometimes you didn't. Just like Rashina. So all that being said, I think he's the father of the group, and character, good character is another title I'll give Dominique, and he's at number 2.
Won't do. Challenging my old views. I am beautiful to so few.
I'm very excited about the pajama party. But first, me and Alexis are going to the stretch lab. I'm definitely looking forward to peel back my legs with her.
At number 1 is Chaz, okay? And the ladies seem to like him the most. He's the sexiest guy on the show or whatever. I think Chaz is a good guy. I think he has some emotional intelligence. I've seen how he kind of stuck up for Koshia. And he seems to be relatively cool. He kind of know how to talk to the ladies. One thing, if I had to say anything negative about Chaz, is that I noticed something and I couldn't put my finger on it at first. I was like, what is it with this guy that I'm not vibing with? And I figured it out. And it turns out to me that I said, oh, that's what's wrong with Chaz. He's a peacocker. Okay. He peacocks. What do I mean by that? Well, when they were at the pajama jam and he asked Patrice in front of everybody who's the sexiest man on the show, and she said him. That was a peacock moment for Chaz. When he invited everybody to his house, because he knew his house was pretty dope and he could show off in front of the ladies. That was a peacock moment for Chaz. When he got Koshia's back in front of everybody at that little party, at that sit down with LaRon, and don't you see she's hurt, man? Don't you see she's hurt? That was a peacock moment. His brother loves to peacock a little bit. I know it's a competition. It's is Ready to Love is probably more about competition than it is about love. So I understand the peacocking that the dude do, just to, show he got the most colorful colors and the brightest and the most fluffiest peacock, tail out there. But that's one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way with Chaz. Other than that, I think he's a real cool dude. Pretty dope, good career, could give a woman a great life. He does want kids from what I understand. And he was once married, I believe. But they had a miscarriage. So I think the guy is, like I said, pretty cool dude. And the title I gave him is the Peacock. He's the peacock of the group and sort of the showboater and things like that. But, he probably figured he ain't got much competition with the other guys. So he can do that. And it is what it is. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way as a man, but I can't say he don't stand on his square as a man. He kind of does that. He's kind of telling the ladies everything they want to hear too. So he'll talk with Vanessa. Oh, she's beautiful all day. Yeah, you look good. That's not good enough. You're beautiful. And and then he'll tell Alexis, oh, you're so beautiful. You're gorgeous. I'm gonna call you mine and all this other stuff. And he just sort of shows off in front of the women. And I don't know. As a man, I understand. I mean, this is pretty much a competition, but it kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's not very manly to me, but it sort of is because of this situation. It's just a little annoying to me personally. Okay, men who got a peacock is men who sort of look thirsty to me, and men who sort of look like they're trying to run game or something. But it's always at the detriment to the other men around them, and trying to establish alpha status. I get it, but it comes off a little showboaty and a little corny to me, to be honest. But that's the only thing about Chaz I noticed. But he's still a cool dude. He's a man, and I'll give him his props for that. And there you have it. So that is the rankings for the men. Let me know what y'all think about this. Did I get something right? Did I get something wrong? How would you rank the men? I really want to see these rankings. Put them in the comments, please. I would love to see them. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.